Hi, this is Ann Jordan on LeGrand Equis 94.1 and 104.9, and I am here with Jessica. Jessica from TROT. She is the executive director, and she has joined us today on Connecting Community. So really quick, we're just going to talk just for a brief minute, and then we'll be right back. So Jessica, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So it's so exciting to learn about TROT. Can you briefly, real quick, just tell us a little bit?
A little bit about TROT. Well, we are a therapeutic riding facility. We are promoting the physical we do therapy for horse therapy for individuals with any kind of mental, physical, or emotional disability, struggles. We use our horses to promote confidence and strength, and just the power of the horses creates such an emotional well-being for people.
That is amazing how people and horses connect.
It is a wonderful thing to watch.
So how did you get started?
How did I get started at TROT? Well, I became a life coach about 3 years ago, and almost 4 years ago, and I had come to an event at TROT and given them my business card. Didn't think anything of it, and one day I got a call from our program manager, JC, and she said, "Hey, would you like to be our director for Horses Helping Heroes, our veterans program?" And I said, "Well, I haven't really been out there for very long, or I haven't really been out there to know what you guys do. Let me come and volunteer first." And so I did, and thought I'd just go in and be part of the program, be with the horses, kind of see what it was. And I got so involved with the horses, I wasn't paying attention to the people. So the next time out, I said, I really need to just be out watching the people, seeing what's going on, making sure that if there's anything happens that I'm here. And so I did, and as soon as I pulled myself away, there was a volunteer or a student that came in, and he was struggling that day. He had been having PTSD all day and trauma, and he said, I don't know if I can come work with the horses today. I just need someone to listen to me. And so I said, okay. I said, would you like to just sit and talk with me? And he said, I would love that. I just need someone to hear me. And so we sat for 2 hours and just talked and went through all the things that were happening with him, and just kind of really connected in that way, which showed me that that's where I really needed to be. And he's still with us. He still volunteers. He still helps out with our veterans program. He always, if things happen, he's like, "You're the first one I want to tell." And so it just showed me that, I was meant to be a life coach in a way that, because I needed to be a TROT, and I need to be a TROT in that way. And so then from there, I just, JC left to go start her family, and I said, hey, I could jump into the director of operations, and they agreed, and did all that last year. And then this year I was chosen to lead the whole thing as the executive director for Cinti.
Congratulations.
Thank
that is
you.
Amazing. We're going to take just a moment, and then we'll be right back with Jessica from TROT.
94.1 y 104.9 FM, La Gran X, Latino Mix.
Okay, this is Ann Jordan with Connecting Community, and I am back with Executive Director of TROT, Jessica, and she just told us how she started at TROT. I'm going to ask a little bit, could you again define what TROT is?
So TROT is a therapeutic riding facility. We cater to anybody with any kind of mental, emotional, or physical disability. And we also have private riding lessons, as well as a youth program for 9 to 15-year-olds that they learn horsemanship, as well as learning to volunteer with our students, our individuals with any kind of disability. So at a young age, they get to learn to work with them as well. So it's pretty exciting to watch that as well.
That is amazing. And so that would be the mission of TROT, is connecting people with horses. Do you 100%. Want to elaborate a little bit more on the mission?
Yeah, we really see the power of how horses and the horse-human connection. Horses are able to connect with us if you're coming in with any kind of, always go back to the heroes just because they come in a little more, with a lot more trauma. And so the horses, we've seen it so many times that they are able to connect in a way that calms them and gives them connection, as well as our adaptive riders. They'll come in they can come in very high emotions, and as soon as they get on the horses, you can see that they kind of level out. And just the being around such a large animal gives them freedom, to be able to ride and be on top of this huge horse that's being there for them, gives them this aha, I can do anything, and the confidence that we all want in our lives, and that the horses are able to do that for them.
For some people, it gives them a mobility they don't have and a sense of freedom, I think.
100%.
Even though it's connecting with another being, it allows them to be more independent and free with the horse.
100%, yes.
That is absolutely amazing. So tell us more about the organization, how it started, maybe a little bit about Cynthia, the founder.
Yeah. So Cynthia's amazing, and she created this 12 years ago out of her backyard with 2 horses and 4 riders. She is a speech therapist, and she was working and had a young boy that couldn't say his R's, and he loved horses. And she said, if you can really work hard on your R's and pronouncing your R's, then I will take you, and, would you like to go meet my horses? And he was like, yeah. And so she took him and met her horses, and learned that the power, he started to pronounce his R's and started to see all the things, and she saw the power and what that could do for him. And so she, in 2024, during COVID, they moved out to where we are now, and it's just growing. We have 36 riders at this moment in adaptive riding. We're starting a new program for mental health for trauma teens, as well as honored elders. Cynthia's just been able to provide a place for people to feel safe and to grow and to learn and to be strong in their own bodies. And it's pretty amazing what she's done.
That is wonderful to have in our community. Let's talk a little bit about who is served. You've talked about the different kind of, feels like classification is too technical, but there's many different people that come in different categories, and not to put anybody in a category, but I'm guessing there's different needs and different ways those are being met. So can you talk a little bit more about who is showing up? You mentioned teens and honored elders, and adaptive riding. Who is it that is benefiting from this? Besides, it sounds like almost the whole community.
Right.
Like everybody has their niche.
Everybody has their thing. Absolutely, everyone has their thing. We all go through some kind of trauma, some kind of thing. But we do mostly, like our adaptive riding is, anyone that has any kind of physical disability, any kind of mental disability. We take them through a riding assessment to see if they can even get on the horse, if they can follow directions, even if they can't get off the horse, or if they're scared of the horse. If they show signs that maybe we can coax them in, maybe they can have introductions, and we try to really work with that. We work with anyone with, like our veterans and our healthcare workers, our firefighters, our first responders. Again, I mentioned we're starting a new program for trauma teens. That's a groundwork, which it means that they are in the arena exploring what's happening with them now, and seeing how the horses interact with them. And it's a pretty cool program to watch. So yeah, we do have a lot of variety in our community. We do serve almost anybody. We can probably put them into one of the programs that we have. We have 5 different programs, and so we try to be able to cater to almost everybody.
And while we have listeners hearing about this, let's tell them how they connect with TROT. So we'll do this again. So if you continue listening, don't worry. We'll tell you how to connect with TROT. But if somebody wants to write it down real quick, do you have a phone number, a web page, Facebook, or social media?
So they can go online to www.trot, T-R-O-T, the number 3, cities.org, or you can call us at 509-412-0112.
Amazing. So thank you. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we will be right back. Maybe if I press it.
Que vive la intensidad del
Vive el
fútbol.
Mundial 2026 a través de Alcon Media. México, Canadá y Estados Unidos se visten de gala recibiendo a todas las selecciones calificadas. Esto va a ser épico. Y solamente lo podrás escuchar a través de Alcon Media, La Ranchera, Radio Lobo y La Gran X. Se van a vivir aquí en Alcon Media.
Restaurante Santa Fe ahora con nueva administración y nuevo atento personal te está esperando. Ven a probar la rica diferencia en sus platillos como carne asada, fajitas a tu gusto, pechuga zarandeada, pollo asado o un molcajete sabrosito, camarones a tu gusto, mojo de ajo a la plancha. Además, no puede faltar los burritos, enchiladas, tostadas, quesadillas y sus ricos tacos. Contamos con las bebidas exquisitas con los mejores tequilas. Ven y prueba las palomas, piña colada, micheladas y más. Contamos con servicio de ventanilla drive-thru. Estamos abiertos de 10 de la mañana a 9 de la noche. Ordene para llevar al 509-873-0023. Ubicados en el 1014 South Washington Street en Kennewick. Atenta invitación. Pase a visitarnos a Restaurante Santa Fe de Kennewick.
SBN Marble, we specialize in the manufacturing and installation of natural stone, such as granite, marble, Corzan, and everything related to quartz, for countertops, kitchens, bathrooms, and bathroom walls and fireplaces. Visit us at SBN Marble. We will be happy to give you an estimate with any cost. SBN Marble, come check it out. We are located at 116 Wellesian Way in Richland. SBN Marble, call us at 509-943-3535. Or if you prefer our specialist to visit your home, just call 509-943-3535 to make an appointment. At SBN Marble, we have a wide variety of colors and inventory. SBN Marble, come check it out. We are located at 116 Wellesian Way in Richland. SBN Marble, call us at 509-943-3535. SBN Marble, where the magic for your business begins. SBN Marble, 509-943-3535.
Nos dieron una tasación más alta de la vivienda después de guardar nuestras fotos familiares.
¿Te ha ocurrido esto por tu raza u origen nacional? Comunícate con HUD en hud.gov/fair housing. Un mensaje de HUD y la Alianza Nacional de Vivienda.
La Gran X, Latino Mix.
Hello, this is Ann Jordan with Connecting Community, and I am here with Jessica. She is the Executive Director of TROT, and we are learning all about TROT in the Tri-Cities. And we have learned that it is about riding horses, and there's a lot of people who would qualify for the different programs they have. So you've kind of already told us one impact story, but I was wondering if you had a couple more to tell us about how the changes and differences. I know I heard a friend of mine tell me that she was at an event and there was a child who didn't speak. And the first time they were able to be on a horse was when they spoke. And this child was closer to 12. And the mom was just crying, and it was this huge, impactful event where this child that she didn't know was ever going to speak was able to find voice through the horse. So, is there other stories? I'm sure there are.
Oh yeah, there's there's lots of stories. Like we have a couple students that have cerebral palsy that are in wheelchairs. One was been with us for I don't know how many years, since before I became part of TROT. And it's so wonderful to watch her. She started when she was young. And she is in a wheelchair, and we take her up on the ramp and put her on the horse, and before, we go once around, and then her legs are super tight when you first put her on the horse, and then you can just see her legs start relaxing as time goes by. And I remember last fall, we had her on, and they were going out into the field doing the trail around, and they were starting to trot, and listening to her just, squeal and get excited, and see her just knowing that was freedom for her, to be able to be on this big animal, and she could do something that she can't do on her own. And then there's another young gentleman that he's been with us for a few years now. He started in hippotherapy, I believe, and is now doing adaptive riding. And he's actually on our homepage. If you watch that, you can see his video. And, he says, I wasn't strong when I first came to trot. I couldn't, stand on my own, or I couldn't sit up on my own. And because of the horses and the strength that I'm building, I'm able to do that now. And so it's these kind of stories that are so encouraging, and knowing that, it's not, we're just, the people are the tools for the horses. The horses are doing the work, and they're doing the fun stuff as well as the hard things, connecting with the people and helping those that aren't able to help themselves as much as we want.
Wow. I hadn't thought of it as being like a form of exercise.
Yeah.
In a way that isn't possible for some of our community members who may be more limited on their physical activity, but this allows them to work muscles and to be outdoors and move in a way that have that freedom that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. So let's talk about you mentioned some of the programs.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go a little bit more in depth on, you said there's 5 main ones?
There is. So we have our main flagship program, which is adaptive riding. And then we have, which is the one that we just talked about. And then we have Path to Success, which is mostly groundwork, learning horsemanship, and connection with the horses, connection with feelings, and that has a couple umbrellas underneath it, which is like our Honored Elders program, which is working with seniors. I'm learning to, just grooming and doing the basics with horses. And then underneath Path to Success, we do groups that come out that are sometimes troubled teens, and but just groups in general that can come out and also learn horsemanship. And again, the connection. We have a mental health program that we're just starting that will work with troubled teens, as well as we are also thinking of being able to do corporate team building with the horses and doing groundwork with that. So that's pretty exciting as well. And that's Path to Success. We have our Trotter Club, which is our 9 to 15-year-olds. They learn horsemanship as well as learning to ride and learning to volunteer with our special students. Then we have our Horses Helping Heroes program, which is our vets program, as well as we serve veterans, healthcare workers, firefighters, first responders, all the ones that go through and do all the hard jobs.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing,
yeah.
All of the work that you do with all of the different programs. We're going to take just a break here, and we will be back, and we have a special guest joining us.
Marcamos nuestra música, marcamos la pauta con nuestros locutores, y ustedes nos marcan como los número 1. La Gran X, 94.1 y 104.9, Latino Mix.
Don't be sorry.
Hello, this is Ann Jordan, and we have founder Cynthia joining us. She had an early meeting, and so she is sliding in right now to make sure that she gets us all taken care of. So, Cynthia, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Nice to be here.
So we have been talking with Jessica, your executive director at TROT, and she's told us a little bit about the history, a little bit about her history, a whole lot about the impact TROT has, and so we're wanting to make sure that you are well taken care of. And let's see. Sorry, we have a little bit of a station malfunction. As we're learning, as everyone knows, this is a newer program for us. So again, this is Connecting Communities with Ann Jordan, and we have TROT Executive Director Jessica, and we have TROT Founder Cynthia. So Cynthia, welcome.
Thank you.
So we had Jessica's founding version. Let's hear yours.
Well, that goes way back, about to 2013, when it was something that I've always wondered about. My background is in speech and language pathology, and I always used dogs in my therapy. So for many decades, I saw the power of an animal connecting with patients that had struggles with communication. And I was at the time working at the hospital, at Lourdes Hospital, and I had a young man who was working on some of his speech, and he loved horses, and he made a deal with me. If you would let me come play with your horses, I'll work really hard in speech. And so he did, and we went and had a few horses in my backyard doing nothing. Turns out his younger brother had severe autism. And because of that, his parents, when they lived in North Carolina, took the younger son to Therapeutic Riding Center. And they and I were saying, why isn't there one in the Tri-Cities? This is such an impactful type of therapy. And so just sort of naively, very naively, started a nonprofit and started with 2 horses and 4 riders, gathered a team of folks that were like-minded, and shared this crazy idea that I had, and it just sort of blossomed from there.
Well, that is amazing. Well, thank you, Cynthia. We have the founder of TROT with us. This is Ann Jordan with Connecting Community, and we're going to take just a moment and hear about the station.
94.1 and 104.9 FM, La Gran X, Latino Mix.
Sorry.
Hi, this is Ann Jordan. We are back with Connecting Community, and I have the founder of TROT, Cynthia, with the executive director, Jessica. So we're going to talk a little bit about community involvement. So we've talked a lot about who we serve and the impact stories, and they have been absolutely amazing. How does the community help?
Oh, in so many ways. We can't do what we do without the community. Between our volunteers and our supporters, donors, they all make us run.
Or we make them walk.
All right.
Yeah, we, in order to do the adaptive riding program with our special needs population, we take sometimes 50 to 60 volunteers a week.
Oh, wow.
Because each horse is a team. There's somebody leading the horse, 1 or maybe 2 sidewalkers, making sure that the rider is safe. We have an instructor then that teaches this class to like 3 different teams. So right there alone, that's just 1 class, and we have about 14 classes a week.
That's 10 people right
Yeah,
there.
so we have about 40 riders a week, and so that's a big chunk of volunteer need. Hands-on in the arena, getting your boots dirty, and they love it. It is like such a joy, as much for the volunteers as it is for the riders and families.
That is amazing.
And that's just one little slice.
That's just one little slice. We have, we need helpers to help feed our horses, to muck, to make sure that they're taken care of as well. So we can't be there 24/7. So we need those helpers and volunteers to be able to do that as well.
And let's again tell them how they find you online and with the telephone number, because I'm guessing somebody out there is saying, I want to volunteer. So how do we connect that with you?
They can go on our website at www.trot, TROT, the number 3, cities.org, and go to the volunteer tab and fill out the volunteer application, or they can give us a call at 509-412-0112.
That is amazing. So go ahead, Cynthia.
Oh, there's some other ways that volunteers can also help. We have a board of directors, and would love to, have a diverse representation in the community that can share and help lead and guide the organization as a whole. We have volunteers that help with our events. So there are some people that we get to see once a year during the main event, where they help make our auction baskets pretty or take photos. any different talents that are out in the community can come. There's just a little something for everybody at TROT.
And you just mentioned something that we haven't talked about. Let's talk about the events.
Oh,
so
boy.
I know that there's a 5K, and I know that there's another great big event that you have. So tell us about the events and any of the dates you have if they're secured.
Yeah, there we have. So if you go to our homepage on our website, we have all of our events listed. Our recent one coming up is our Saddle and Spirits on May 2nd at Bookwalter.
Okay.
So that's a fun event. They are doing this event to support us. All the funds will be, they'll give us a portion of the funds for that. It's a fun night with music and
whiskey release,
and
great band,
great food, and then
the name of the band is Fat
Fox.
Fox.
Okay.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
And then our main event is on June 27th at the fairgrounds. That's our big event that is our main one.
Okay. And what is that?
So that is a live and silent auction.
Okay.
There's dinner and there's music and a fun auctioneer, and tell us more about that.
Oh, it's such a great event. I think we've done this will be maybe our 10th main event. We've had it at different places. It's going to be again at the fairgrounds, which worked out great.
Seems fitting. Horses and fairgrounds.
Right.
Right. We have awesome live auction items auctioned off by Kirk Schaefer.
Okay.
And believe CG Public House will be providing the catering.
Good food. That's wonderful.
Great food and a lot of fun. You can put on your boots and your bling and come and enjoy some times of dancing, photos. We have tons of wonderful silent auction items. It's just a really great time, and it's an opportunity for people to learn a little bit more about TROT as we share some of the videos and talking a little bit about the stories behind the reason we do that.
And are the tickets available?
They are. They're on our website.
Fabulous.
And if you go to the www.trot3cities.org, you can pick up your tickets there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is amazing. I've learned in my experiences with nonprofits that we're planning like a year before for events. So because the event's happening June of this year, it's probably something that's been in planning for you since August of last year.
The other one begins.
you maybe get a couple weeks of reprieve, and then you just start going again.
You do, yes. And we're still looking for some sponsors for that.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So anybody out there, any of our businesses or people that volunteers of time, talent, or treasure, and so looking for that is amazing. And then what other events do you have?
Let's see, we have our cowboy camp that's in July. We have 2 of those, which is July 6th will be for 7 to 9-year-olds. And then July 20th we'll start with our 10 to 14-year-olds. And so then they come out for 4 days and they get to spend about 4 or 5 hours a day and learning to groom the horses, and they play games and they ride and they do all the fun things that you do at camp, right? So that's super fun. 2 weeks that we have there. We have another event on July 31st, which is Name Our Goats. We got donated 2 mini goats last year, and they came with the names of Gary and Patrick. And none of us think that that's very suiting. So we're going to rename them, and we're going to have an event at Wheatland Bank to do that. And they're helping us provide new names for our goaties. And then on October 17th, our 6th annual Trot for Trot. And so we'll have that. It's our fun run. And then, oh my goodness, we have so many events. And then we have in October, right after our Trot for Trot, we have our Trot or Treat event, which that event, they come out, we dress up the horses, and the kiddos get to go to each stall and trick or treat. And then if the weather holds out, we'll have a movie night where we have a 30-foot movie screen where we play a movie on and just have a fun family night.
So that
there.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's something going on every month.
Almost every
other
month. Yep.
in
December
your
we have
event.
Cowboy Christmas. So yep, that's the end of the year.
There you go. That is amazing. So a big part of the community. So I am here. I just had Jessica from TROT explaining all their activities and Cynthia filling us in on some of the big details on their main event that they're going to have in June. This is Ann Jordan with Connecting Community. We're going to identify the station real quick and then we will be back.
Lo admitimos, nos encanta poner música. La Gran X, 94.1 y 104.9, Latino Mix.
Hello, this is Ann Jordan with Connecting Community. We are talking about nonprofits. We're inviting nonprofits in. We're learning about their missions, who the people behind these nonprofits are, who they serve, how they're helping out in the community, and then also how we as a community can step up and help them, because the more we all work together, the better we can take care of everybody. So we have Jessica here, the executive director, and we have Cynthia, the founder of TROT, and we are learning much more about their organization. And right now I want to talk a little bit about challenges of nonprofit work and maybe some of the overcomes that we've had. We don't always think of nonprofits as being businesses because the goal isn't necessarily about raising money, although it kind of is, just like a business, because you have to pay for all the things that you're doing. And so you can't take care of people without money.
Right.
And so it becomes all of a sudden you're like, it's like I have a business here.
No mission, no margin. No margin, no mission. That's right.
Yes. So what are some of maybe the struggles that you have overcome? I know that there's been, Jessica has moved into the executive director role, and anytime there is a change in leadership, good, even when it's a great change and everyone loves the reason, that can cause some just challenges. And then if you've been doing this for as long as Cynthia has, I'm sure she's learned a lot and overcome quite a bit.
I have. It's like I said, I didn't know anything about nonprofits, but I did know that I was in a season of my life that I wanted to give back to my community, and I wanted to do everything possible to make this happen so that the community could enjoy the impactful and benefit from a therapeutic riding center. And so I've worked really tirelessly to make that. So that was a challenge. To learn all the ins and outs. There's so much to learn, and I'm just in the, we're still in our young age as an organization, and so we're looking forward to growing even more. But I guess the transition is challenging for me in that so much of it is in my head and inherently I've done, and transferring that to Jessica and on paper takes a great deal of effort. And so we've been transitioning with a very detailed plan and have checked off just almost all the boxes that we need to cover. But I'm always coming up with something like, I forgot about telling her about this until it comes up. And so I'm going to be available. She can call me anytime. I'm excited to continue to help support TROT as an ambassador. I will help write some grants. I'm not going anywhere that she can't access when she needs help, but it has been very powerful for me to be able to do this when I witness Jessica's leadership and the team that we have in place at TROT now. It certainly makes it easier for me to take a step to a different role with TROT.
So what Cynthia is describing is that she has recently stepped down as being necessarily the one in charge, and she has kind of handed that off to Jessica, and we have Cynthia transitioning and teaching and learning, and she's always going to be a part of TROT, but she's not necessarily the only one.
I've never been just the only one. Right. It's been a development of a team of people in the village, really. But it's exciting to see new leadership with new ideas, fresh, good thoughts, and a fantastic team, and just wonderful, willing hearts. Everybody that works at TROT is there because they love and embrace the mission. And that is impossible to teach or train. That has to come, and so I'm very fortunate we have people to do that. And then all the other pieces, of training will come when as needed. So.
I think it's amazing what you described was actually a great leadership is when you are training the next level to have that come in and work with the person who is doing it, because just as you said, you don't know what you know until you are facing it. So you almost have to go a full season and a half, because the first season is them just figuring out what kind of they're doing, and then you kind of go through it and like, okay, they have it figured out, and it's not anything about their talent, it's just sometimes there's just so much, and it's a different animal. And with a nonprofit, there is that heart part of it, like you described. It's with businesses, sometimes it's more about dollars and cents, although we want to make sure that there's good culture, but with a nonprofit, that's such a huge part, to have that heart part of it there. And so having that transition go where she has you as that resource and you're still there is just an amazing part of leadership. So I'm glad to hear that the organization is structured in that way and has that leadership part of it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I couldn't, like in the last year, just being the director of operations, getting to know the families, getting to know what TROT is inside and out, it's been, it's made the transition, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's easier, 100%, because I already know, I know the families, I know what goes on at TROT, and so as we're going through this, it's fun because I can be like, okay, I don't know who this person is, can you connect me? And to go out into the community like we did, even yesterday, and just meet the people that support us and get to know them a little bit more. And I love that part. I love, before I knew all the people inside of TROT, now I get to know the community outside of TROT as well. And I've been in the community for a long time. I owned my own business before, and so having that and knowing some of the community just makes this a little bit more easier as well.
And Cynthia, can you tell us a little bit about the board?
Yeah, so our board of directors meets once a month at TROT, and we have a variety of skill sets that are looking to transition TROT from we've been a working board, an informal working board, and we're sort of in our phase 2 of growth in that respect as well. They have created a wonderful strategic plan, a 3-year strategic plan, and are working to really help with the sustainability now and governance and oversight of the organization as a whole. So we have ability to, we have several seats that are looking to be filled with a mix of people in a variety of different occupations and businesses that can come and bring some vision and strength to the organization as an overview and an oversight, and to help us grow and to get to that next level.
Growth is important. Yes, you have to have
really important
skills.
So yes. So our application for board members is on our website as well, and we encourage people to come. It's the 4th Thursday of the month. We encourage people to come at TROT at 5:30, and learn a little bit more about it, and then decide if they would something that it would be a good fit for both.
That's amazing. So we have Cynthia here with TROT. She is the founder, and Jessica, the executive director. And Cynthia just put a call out. So if you want to be a board member or come learn about TROT, it's the 4th Thursday of the month at TROT at 5:30. So please come and learn about them. This is Ann with Connecting Communities. We're going to take just a quick break.
La Gran X 94.1 and 104.9 FM Latino Mix.
15. What?
Sorry, this is Ann Jordan back with Connecting Community. We are here with Cynthia and Jessica from TROT. They are telling us all things about it. We've learned about the impact they have. We've learned about how to volunteer. We've learned about how to possibly become a board member. And just a quick brief before we go to commercial, ladies. Let's have the website again and the phone number, so how they connect with you, and maybe even on social media.
Yeah. Our website is www.trot, T-R-O-T, 3 cities.org, and our phone number is 509-412-0112. And then our Facebook page is Therapeutic Riding of Tri-Cities.
Okay, so listeners out there, if you are thinking to yourself that you maybe have heard of TROT and haven't checked it out, or you haven't heard, I think that you should look them up. You should go visit. You should perhaps show up and find out how you can become a volunteer. Businesses, they are looking for sponsors for their events that are coming up, and they have a ton of events. It's so well organized, so this is amazing to hear. This is all going on. And also to make sure that we're looking for board members. So we want to make sure this sticks around. I know growing up, my younger sister had her own challenges, and when my dad brought a horse home for her, that made a huge difference in her life. And part of what got her to want to head off to college is that she went to a college that had a horse program, that she was in an equestrian program originally. So although I have personally never been a horse person, my grandfather was and my sister was, and we had horses around to some degree, I've seen some of the impact. And before you got here, Cynthia, I was telling Jessica about a story a friend of mine told where a child of about 12 said her first word after sitting on a horse.
Yeah.
So the impact that can have is absolutely amazing. So we're going to take off and let the commercials happen for a minute, and then we will hear back from everybody here shortly.
Este 10 de abril regresamos con todo. El Desert Heat de Pasco vuelve a abrir sus puertas a lo grande. Más grande y remodelado, celebraremos juntos que hemos vuelto. Es por eso que traemos para ti un espectacular evento para que bailes y disfrutes con nosotros. Te traemos a Raúl y los Canarios de Michoacán este 10 de abril en el Desert Heat. Y como sabemos que la noche es corta, te traemos también a Miguel Tapia, el aparecido pa' que le zapates machín, 707 West Court Street en Pasco. Y para rematar, porque sabemos que te gusta la pisteadera, unas norteñas con los de Tierra Brava. Ven a celebrar al desierto de Pasco con una tercia perrona. Los de Tierra Brava, Miguel Tapia y los Canarios de Michoacán en un solo lugar. El Desert Heat de Pasco en su gran reinauguración.
Atención, mi comunidad. Las leyes de impuestos han cambiado y no estar informados puede costarle dinero. Este año hay reglas más estrictas para trabajadores independientes, nuevos requisitos de reporte y cambios de deducción y créditos fiscales. Antes de declarar, infórmate y protégete. Tú ya me conoces. Soy Silvia Ramos de Silvia's Professional Tax Services, 509-790-0065. ¡Te esperamos!
Nos dieron una tasación más alta de la vivienda después de guardar nuestras fotos familiares.
¿Te ha ocurrido esto por tu raza u origen nacional? Comunícate con HUD en hud.gov/fairhousing. Un mensaje de HUD y la Alianza Nacional de Vivienda
En
Justa.
las tardes, en las noches y para desayunar, siempre muy alegres vamos al lugar. En familia, con amigos, vamos a gozar toda la comida de Santa Fe Restaurante. Pero qué sabroso Santa Fe Restaurante. 5098730023. Qué rico el menudito. Qué rico, qué rico. Qué rica la birrita. Qué rico, qué rico. Qué rico los mariscos. Qué rico, qué rico. Te vamos a atender con una sonrisa en Santa Fe. Pero qué sabroso Santa Fe Restaurante. 5098730023. Restaurante Santa Fe.
No somos nadie para mufarnos de otras estaciones, pero somos únicos. La Gran X, 94.1 y 104.9, Latino Mix.
Hello, this is Ann Jordan here with Connecting Community, and I am back with Cynthia and Jessica. We have the founder and executive director of TROT, and we have a few details I want to make sure that we're aware of. So I'm going to let Jessica and Cynthia fill us in on some stuff that they're still yet to learn.
Yeah, we mentioned a lot of our programs, but we also do field trips. So some schools can come out and have a couple-hour field trip. They come out and we do stations, and they learn all about the horses and anatomy and how to groom them, and what else? The reading in the round pen. They get to read to the horses. They can lead the horses. We do a little relay with them, some learning as far as, finding eggs, doing an egg hunt, and just different fun things like that we try to cater to, just depending on the ages and how many. But we also provide that. And what else?
Well, I think, we're a good resource for families that might be facing, perhaps for the first time, a diagnosis of autism. And sometimes they don't know how to navigate, the system and what opportunities are out there in the community. I think that's one of the things with Connecting Hearts that's helpful, is that everybody gets a broader understanding of the organizations that are out in the community that can help a family. And I love seeing how TROT is a resource and a support systems for the families, especially if you are challenged with somebody that may have some more profound physical or neurological issues going on. And we're not afraid of that. They can come to TROT and be themselves, and we can help guide them wherever they're at and their potential, and we try to maximize their potential. And we can do that if they struggled just to walk, we got this fantastic ramp. If they struggle to talk, we have understanding volunteers and staff that can help them learn to communicate in other ways with the use of a device or gestures. And we can also help families find resources out there.
I think that's something we haven't mentioned, but is amazing, that I've heard too, that when new families or families are with a new diagnosis or a new realization that life may look different for their family going forward, TROT is a place they can belong.
They can. We're going to be part of, Jessica doesn't even know this. We're going to be part of working with Modern Living Services as they provide with the mentorship of Coke Roth to help families develop trust for their special needs family member. What to plan and prepare for, down the road, so that that child is cared for. And so, collaborating with other organizations is really important.
That's
and
amazing.
We've done that. We've done it with businesses that have come out for Barn Buddy Days, all different businesses and all other organizations, that we can serve and work together.
So many people help us that we really want to make sure that we give back as well. So, making sure that people know that TROT is a safe place for them. We build confidence, and we're not there just for, ourselves, but we're there for everyone that comes in our door, as well as the community as well.
I think that is something that a lot of people don't know, that resource aspect of it. And when families can be struggling, while you're talking about putting a trust together, there's just a lot of overwhelming parts that can happen from the parent standpoint. And then I know it's not just children that you help with this, it's through the entire life of someone who may need that freedom that they don't get in a different way.
Right. I mean, even for, a mother, let's say, of somebody with special needs that is very dependent, and for that 1 hour, that parent can be on our campus, but maybe be in their car and take a 40-minute wanker of sleep, or they can read a book, or they can take a walk, they can see.
They can take a breath.
They can take a breath. It's a little respite for them.
Someone else is
Someone's
there
in charge, and
helping.
they're going to care for my child or my young adult, and they are going to be okay. And that gives that mom just a minute, and then, so I mean, I just feel like or even if it's they have to come in the office and find the box of tissues because it's just overwhelming, or talk with us, they're able to do that.
I think that was part of what Jessica was talking to, is it's not just horses, it's people and horses, and that you're there to help the people and all the people that come with the person. It's a family, and it's that whole connecting part of it.
Connecting 100%. I mean, we're just tools for the horses, but we're an important part of that too. You know, just that listening ear and that compassion that they're not alone.
That is amazing. We're going to identify the station real quick. Maybe I can press the right button.
La Gran X.
Okay, we are back here. This is Ann Jordan with Connecting Community, and I have Cynthia with TROT. She is the founder, and I have Jessica here, who's the executive director. We are getting ready to wrap up, ladies. We are closing out the hour, and so I'm going to kind of ask maybe a couple of repeat things, if we can do identifying kind of what TROT is about, who should be connecting you, and then how people reach you. What TROT's about. I know we've said a whole lot of it, but if you were summing it up in just a few sentences.
Goodness. Well, this is an animal-assisted therapeutic recreational activities that occur at TROT that help provide for an improved well-being and maximizing the potential of anybody, any ages that are in the community that would benefit from an improved physical, psychological, or social interaction.
That is amazing. And how do they reach you?
www.trot3cities.org or at the phone 509-412-0112. We are also on Facebook and Instagram.
That is amazing. And Jessica, what do you want to send off with?
I just want to say, thank you to our community. Thank you for those that come out to TROT. We invite you to come out anytime. We take a tour, see what we're about, ask questions. It's calm. People come out there all the time and say, gosh, it's just so calm out here. It's quiet. It's peaceful. That's just what I needed for the day. So even if it's just to come out just for some peace for the day, come out and visit us. We love to have everyone out, and give us a call.
That is amazing. Well, thank you. We are wrapping up here. We have Cynthia, the founder of TROT, and we have Jessica, the executive director. I am Ann Jordan. This is Connecting Community. We'll be back on Thursday, and we are here 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. This is La Gran X, 94.1, 104.9. We are talking with nonprofits, learning about their missions, who the people are behind them, who they serve in the community, and how as a community we step up and help them. So thank you.
This is KYJJ 94.1 FM, Woodman, Oregon, and K2A5 FM, HD2 104.9 FM, Kennewick, Washington. La Gran X.